Hello, welcome or welcome back to Life on the Franch. This month, Life on the French. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at some weird French laws. Some of them are weird, just like regular weird, kind of like outdated laws. Other ones I have more thoughts about, so it might get a little political, but mostly it's just going to be a fun video where we look at some outdated laws that, a lot of countries have. The US is not an exception to this. One that I think is kind of romantic is that... okay, you'll see in a sec. So in France, you can marry the dead with the permission of someone in the government at the time, like the king, now the president. So the reason this law was enacted is because a pregnant fiancée lost her husband at sea 2 months before they were going to get married, and so in a way to kind of like honor the grief of this fiancée, this woman, he allowed her to be legally married to her fiancé, which I think is kind of romantic. And in 2014, a woman in a similar situation, tried to marry, I think did marry, her fiancé 2 years after his sudden death. So it's unclear if you get like it says that no inheritance or other financial benefits are guaranteed. So it seems like it's more a romantic thing than as like a financial way to get your fiance's things. But even if it were, if you've been engaged for a long time and you have a wedding date set, I kind of feel like the plan is for you to get their things. You're probably already signed on to a lot of their stuff. I don't know. Just my opinion. But that's kind of romantic. On the flip side, something that I don't agree with is that women could not wear trousers or pants in Paris starting in 1800. In 1892, there was an exception made for if you're riding a horse, and in 1909 there was an exception made for riding a bike, and this was still in effect all the way until 2013. It just wasn't enforced. In 2003, it says that sometimes just not enforcing it is easier than actual government action, but I think it's ridiculous that it was illegal to wear pants in Paris until 2013, whether it's enforced or not. That's crazy. Now this is kind of a political one. So in Antibes, I'm not saying that right. It's Antibes, between or near Nice. It's illegal to take a photograph of a police officer or a police vehicle, even if it's in the background of a photo. So, in August 2016, police bureaus and politicians and elsewhere along the French Riviera went even further, threatening legal action against social media users who had published photographs and videos of officers enforcing the infamous burkini ban. So the burkini ban is I don't even want to call it a weird law, because I think that's minimizing how cruel that law is. I don't think that anyone should be able to tell anybody else, especially as adults, what they can wear. For some women, it's empowering to dress modestly. For other women, it's empowering to dress scantily. And it's up to the woman to decide, like, what beliefs they maintain. And I feel like we don't hold, like, other religions to the same, like, oh, you can't wear that at the beach. Like, if nuns went to the beach, would they be, like, banned? Or is it just specifically, like, burkinis? Because nuns, you know, would be, like, I'm thinking in their full nun garb, you know, the white, black dress look. You know what I'm talking about. So, this is, like, especially controversial because it prevented people from documenting how often the burkini ban was used and the way it was enforced and the behavior of police officers. And as an American, I think it's important that we monitor our police force. It holds police accountable, and it provides evidence either for or against the police when they're carrying out their legal responsibilities. Now, obviously, it's not the police's choice whether or not the burkini ban existed. That's on Congress, so I'm not blaming the police for that. But I think it's important for journalism to get photographs of this actually being enforced. So that's my, like, political sort of weird law. But I just feel like I could not ignore something like that in a video about French laws. So another one that is similar to something that happened in the US is you can no longer have unlimited ketchup in schools, with the exception being if French fries are served. This was enacted in 2011 to combat the rising obesity rates in France, which is higher slightly than the UK and Germany, but significantly lower than the US. And it reminds me of Michelle Obama enacting a new healthy schools, I forget what it's called, healthy lunch program in schools where you had to have a certain amount of vegetables and whatever. But then pizza got qualified as a vegetable somehow. I don't know. But it's just a weird one. It's not the only thing, like mayonnaise and vinaigrettes, salad dressing, also they had limits. I don't know, I don't have a solution to child obesity issues. But if you're serving kids like French fries in school, maybe that's the bigger issue, and maybe we should be looking at, like, healthier school foods on the whole, rather than, like, limiting ketchup. But whatever. This is a weird one. So in 2000, a mayor of Lavandou, like Lavandou, on the Mediterranean coast, banned people from dying in the municipal area because the, like, I guess what would we consider, like, the county, a government system above him told him that he couldn't make a second cemetery, and they had no space left in their cemetery. So he made it like, if you were gonna die in this town, you need to have a plot in this town. It's unclear, like, how this was enforced. I'm sure it wasn't, but it was like a petty thing to, like, be like, you're gonna make a stupid decision about we can't build a cemetery, well then people can't die here, I guess. Another really funny one, and this one is acknowledged by the mayor and the people as being like a publicity stunt law, is that you can't fly UFOs over the Château de Pas? Châteauneuf du Pape? put it on screen here. This is the name. But in 1954, the mayor issued a decree banning UFOs from flying over the town or landing in the town, which allowed the area to get international attention and draw international attention to its wine production. So it was all like a scheme to get like people interested in the area, and then they were like, oh my gosh, there's also good wine here. I just think kudos to them. Excellent advertising. Like, cool. And I'm going to link the websites, by the way, that I am referencing down below. So that way you can read all the articles for yourself. Another one that's funny, you can't name your pig Napoleon because it's illegal to insult Napoleon. And it was illegal to like make fun of him. And that weird like 19th century law is still in effect. So I don't know, it seems like the freedom of speech would have like overridden this, but I don't know like speech law in France. I only know it in America, so that's very bizarre to me. I'm very interested in this. I might dig a little deeper into that on my own time. And then in a local ordinance from a small town in the north of France, mandates that you say bonjour and merci when you are in like a town hall. Basically, somebody got angry and they were like, we will have civility. You will say bonjour and you will say merci. And it became a law. So their speech laws must be different because like I don't know how you could enforce that here. Here's one. So you can divorce your husband if he watches too much football on the basis that it's intellectually cheating. The same would go for like if they're playing too much video games. Like if they're not giving you enough like time, if they're not giving you the time of day, then you can leave them because they're choosing football over you. And I'm assuming football in this case means soccer. I didn't know you had to have a reason to get divorced. Unless you like both agreed on it. But maybe in France you do? Again, like so many of these laws just raise these like further questions, which is why I'm so like intrigued by them. But I wanted to end on one that is so freaking French. Like, so French. And it's that you can't get drunk at work unless it's on wine. And I don't know what says France more than that. Obviously you can't like get like plastered. But you can drink wine, beer, cider, or hydromel if you're celebrating like a retirement or like a party. But it's just very funny. Like specifically like wine, but no hard liquor, which is also like indicative of the way they think of alcohol in Europe versus the US. So in the US, like we just think of all alcohol as alcohol, but they draw a very distinct line in France and England and Germany between hard liquor, so like shots, and soft liquor? I don't know what this other word is. But lower levels of liquor, so like beer, and they usually have age limits that, like, at a younger age, you can drink like beer and wine, and then when you have to be older to get hard liquor. But still, usually both of those are like still younger than the US, because the idea is they want to normalize like drinking and drinking in a responsible way, as opposed to the US. So I think maybe a good retort for a French person to this video would be that one of our weird laws in the US is that you have to be 21 to drink, but you can join the military and vote at 18. Ridiculous. But on that note, I will conclude this video. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. If you want to see more of our content, click subscribe and ding the bell button to know when we post, which is every day. It's a variety of content. So there's lots of different playlists, so find a playlist that you enjoy. Hopefully it's most of them. And most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you for watching. Bye!